got Oregon versus Utah, the preview, Chris. You know, you've been the Oregon guy all year long. The quack attack over there, man. I think you even have an Oregon jersey floating around somewhere, don't you? Yeah.
I do.
So, you know, but I'll kind of take the Utah man side because I've had to take Utah's side all year long. This is a top 15 matchup, man. And what's weird about it to me is with Utah, we look at it, right? The question all year, every week is Cam Rising going to play? Now, last week, we officially got word they shut him down for the year. So it's the Bryson Barnes show. They're going to throw, Noah Johnson out there from time to time, their other athletic, true freshman quarterback who's going to play and let him kind of do some things. But, I mean, Bryson Barnes, Chris, we saw what he did against USC. Now, granted, that defense is not very good, and we saw what that offense did too. But, man, they delivered when they needed it to. Poised, on the road, man. I mean, just absolutely doing what they needed to do in that game to win. On the flip side of it, I'm really impressed with Utah's defense. I mean, they limited USC until late in that game. And then obviously, when you play a team, I think that's explosive as USC is on offense, that's all you can do is just stop them and get some stops and limit them, right? You're not gonna probably hold USC to 7 points, no. Right? That's not gonna happen. But if you can hold them under 30, you got a good shot. Now they didn't do that per se, but they were able to bring enough offense to kind of counteract that. So, my big question in this one, and you're going to touch on it, Oregon's defense is going to be much better than what they faced last week. Granted, they will play this game at home. How's that going to, tell me right now, what Utah needs to be worried about with Oregon?
Yeah, you said, I'll start with the defensive side. We know Oregon 6-1. We know the loss to Washington and a missed field goal for Oregon to win that or send it in overtime. So anybody that watches college football, I don't have to explain that to anyone there. No, Oregon's a hell of a fucking football team. I've said it all year long. I think Christian and I both agree they're one of the elite teams in the country. Defensively, though, Oregon's defense is very, very good. I mean, they're up there in the top 15, top 20 in almost any stat. I'm sure somebody on the internet or in the comments can find a stat that I don't know, and they're 36 or something in. Regardless, I don't care. I mean, the eye test for me, Oregon's a good football team this year. They really, truly are. Surprisingly, and not to my surprise, I would have not thought Utah would have been rated this high, and somebody would have said, "Oh, Cam Rising hasn't even played in a single game this year." That's hats off to Utah. They played really well this year. They're a good football program under Whittingham. He's a hell of a freaking coach. I think he's very underrated personally. Going forward, though, with this game in particular, Oregon did not play, in my opinion, very well last week against Washington State. Washington State has not looked good the previous 2 weeks. That game was a lot closer than I thought. I believe it was 38-24, something like that. Oregon kind of pulled away finally in the last 10 minutes of that game. But that was a really, really close game, the entire game. And I'm not saying Washington State's bad. That's not what I'm saying. But Oregon coming off a super sad loss to Washington the week before, I kind of thought they'd be fired up. Maybe they're looking ahead here. I don't know. This game is at Utah. Utah is very, very, very good. Christian would agree with me at home. They're almost unbeatable at home. They're unreal at home. This game, I have a hard time like deciphering how this game is going to go. I think there will be points scored. I truly do. How many? I really don't know. I'm going to give you my prediction now. I have this game being closer probably as far as the over-under goes. I have this game 27, Oregon, Utah 24. I think this thing is a close game. I know the better players and the better recruiting class and all that stuff is for Oregon, but Utah is a different and a way better team. Even though they're good on the road, Christian, they're even better at home.
Yeah, I agree. You said it best, Chris. I mean, they're better at home. I kind of take the same sentiment. I think it'll be within a one-possession game. I do think Oregon has just as talented of an offense, dare I say, right, as USC. But I think they're a little more complete. And I think that's going to show in this game, even on the road. Give me Oregon 35, Utah 28.